For heaven's sake, said no one in particular, tell us about laziness. Laziness, I think I used to be quite lazy when I was signing on and taking drugs the whole time. I couldn't really be bothered to do anything, although being a drug addict can be quite taxing, because you have to get the money for the drugs, then you have to get the drugs. Both of those things can be troubling, but now I still don't basically think I'd like to not go anywhere ever again or do anything else. Like, what about The Rock and Mark Wahlberg getting up at 3 in the morning to do exercises and go in cryo chambers and all those things? Can you? I mean that's why I suppose they're so successful. Their absolute willingness to get up at 3 a.m. It's hard to get up at 7. My first thought on awakening is I'd like to go back to sleep now. I'd like to stay in bed. Coziness. I love to be cosy. Don't you just want to be sort of cosy and snug with a nice cold Easter egg, all cozied up under a little duvet and just watch things? But sometimes when you're actually doing that, don't you feel a little bit anxious and depressed, like you should be doing something else? Like when that lady said to me, Megan, what's her name, Megan Jane Crabb, when she said like that there's a moral attachment to types of food, good food, bad food, all that, you know, like it's bad to eat chocolate or a jar of peanut butter, it made me realise we're always applying moral attributes to actions and objects, probably because in, you know, post-Protestant Europe, the work ethic is intrinsically linked to morality, and in a country like America, you know, the dream of individualism and heroism that somehow resourced from your inner self, you make manifest these glorious and heroic lives, work and endeavour, the you know, apex of human achievement. But don't you sometimes look at your cat and dog and think, well, they're not doing anything at all. Look at them, bugger all's being achieved, and they're still about as basically as good as you. But I suppose what you don't want to do is lethargically, sluggishly slouch on a couch, inert and hopeless, covered in gunk. You want to get out there and be a bit more vibrant, do you? What I've got now is I've surrendered my will, absolutely. Not absolutely, I'm always taking it back, but I've surrendered my will to a degree. It means that I do several things I don't want to do each day. Like I go for a run with the dog, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I pray and I meditate. I'm forever plunging myself in a cold liquids thanks to Wim Hof. Check him out on Under the Skin. If I go half an hour without shrivelling myself into frigid, freezing oblivion, I feel like I've not done my daily duty. So laziness, what is it really? A lack of energy and a sort of a purposelessness, a sort of nihilism, a personal nihilism, I think, a sort of the thought that, well, what's the point in doing anything? I think it's okay to relax. I think it's okay to rest. I think it's necessary to spend time in quiet communion with your true self, so that your conscious activity isn't entirely governed by the thinking mind, that you have time to get in touch with your intuitive self, your emotional self. It's good to be restful and in repose, but for me it is important to have discipline. Don't take on other people's ideals about what you should be doing, of course, like, oh, I'm lazy because I'm not, you know, sort of roaringly successful stockbroker, or I'm not up at 3 a.m. doing push-ups in a cryo chamber. But do find your own standards and abide by them. Do take advice and counsel from those you admire and help, and let them help you to establish a routine that you can live by. Because I suppose laziness is only relevant if you feel that you're not fulfilling your potential. Because some animals, cats I'm thinking of in particular, don't do bugger all, and they don't seem to let it bother them, and we're all just carbon-based mammalian life forms ultimately, except for our ability to articulate our conscious thoughts and our potential connection to a divine frequency. But, you know, that's not going to stop you eating Easter eggs on the settee. Hello, I'm doing these new videos more frequently now. Please hit the notification button at the end of this video, because then you'll get like a little bell when I post a new video, and I'd like you to get a little bell when I post a video. Then I can, I don't know, be buzzing away in your pocket. Sounds like I'd be like a little pocket mosquito. Anyway, subscribe, click the bell, because I want more people to watch the YouTube videos. You specifically.